What's going on, YouTube? So today I'm going to answer a question that I've been getting asked a lot lately, which is how much time do I need to be spending in practice mode, labbing up my offense, my defense, compared to playing in either league games, games against friends, ranked games, unranked games, to practice my offense. So we're going to answer that question today. Now, if you've been following the YouTube channel here at the Madden Lab and following me even before I joined the Madden Lab, you'll know that the thing that I did that kind of is now becoming a little more normal was I was the first one to show gameplay footage when I was talking about my tips. I wouldn't sit in practice mode, and the reason for that is because the past few years, ever since, I can't remember exactly, but I think ever since Madden 11, practice mode has been completely broken. I'm not going to say completely broken, but it's 90% broken. Like, a lot of the offensive plays, especially against man coverage, you know, some of the corner routes and some of the things like that, they get so much more wide open in practice mode. When it comes to defenses, there's so many more things that work in practice mode compared to a real game. And you kind of go into a game with a false idea of what it is that you can do. And not all channels. There's some great channels out there, like the Madden Daily channel, Zan's Forward Progress channel, Madden Mastermind, whoever. There's a lot of great, respectable channels out there. But the problem is that with YouTube becoming so much more popular, there's a lot of people sitting in practice mode showing you blitzes, and they come through and you're like, oh my god, that's money. Well, if they're not that well known and they don't have that kind of respect out there yet, then you can go into a game thinking that this blitz is going to work, and you're just going to get chewed up all game long. I've seen people that they're you know, talking to me saying, oh, I got a playoff game coming up, I got this great blitz, you know, that I just found, and I'm going to use it in this game, and I'm going to destroy this guy. And they get in the game and the blitz doesn't work, and they try it and try it and try it, and next thing you know, it's too late and they've lost. So we're going to go over that today. If you followed me here on the Madden Lab YouTube channel and even before I came, you'll know that the one thing that I always do is I show gameplay footage in all of my tips. In fact, the last tip that I did for the 46 Bear Under was the first practice mode tip I did all year, I think. Sometimes I'll show it in practice mode, but again, we're a channel that we have the respect where it's kind of like, okay, well, if we're showing something in practice mode, then you know, chances are it's going to work, right? I mean, we're not just throwing random stuff out there. So this is to answer the question and to protect you guys. That's the reason why I was the first guy to start showing gameplay footage, and that's kind of how I got my following to begin with, was I knew that there was a need for people out there to not see people sitting in practice mode showing a play, because there's wise people out there that know that that doesn't work. They want to see it working in games, and that's why I started that. But today we're going to go in and we're going to look. I was labbing the big nickel bear. I was labbing a lot of different stuff, and I found some really nice stuff on top of the stuff that I've already shown this year. So this will work out of like a cover 2, a cover. It'll work out of anything, but let's go into like a cover 3, and we're just going to zone all our linebackers. We're going to double base a line and spread them. Oops, so that, you know, we've got some pretty nice coverage, and of course we can adjust our coverage. Now here in practice mode, I've got 3 guys rushing, and one of the great things I found out of the nickel bear was these nice blitz angles in all of the plays for the most part. So then I just do this. Now it's not guaranteed that it's going to work 100% of the time, because I actually was doing this a few days ago. I thought I would do a video on this, and I just kind of want to show you. Oops, I meant to just snap the ball. Now we don't have a guy blitzing, and as you can see there, I kind of messed it up already. It's been a while since I've done this. So we'll double base a line, we'll spread, we're rushing 3. They're not blocking a guy. And it's not the fastest blitz in the world by any stretch of the imagination. But when you're sitting in practice mode for a long time and you're labbing stuff and you kind of get on to, you know, what's going to happen here. I mean, that's pretty, we're sending 3. And there's a lot of players out there that kind of my idea when I was first starting labbing this tip was, oh, this is actually good for, you know, more of a sim player. Even though this is kind of a dirty move, this is good for a sim player that sits on the defensive line, which is something that I would never do. But they're able to get 3-man pressure, and, you know, I mean, we've got pretty good coverage. Obviously, we've got a guy over here that's, you know, obviously wide open, and that's going to be an easy completion. But of course, depending on your opponent, you can always make your adjustments, right? So even just one small adjustment, and we can lock this play down. So we just hold down the left trigger, we wait a second, and then we just click off and let the computer go in and get the sack. So basically it's the clicking off that makes this get in. I tried it where I was coming in manually and it wasn't working, and as you can see, it just opens up like the Red Sea. We get a fast player there, and basically as soon as I click off, then now I'm going to grab this player, right, and then I'm going to drop back into coverage, as you see there. So we're rushing 3, but then it ends up being kind of like a 2 after, whatever. And if you take a look at the coverage, oops, then you're going to see that, you know, with a couple adjustments, now he's got a different target open. He's got 2 targets if we count the slant as a quick pass. But you get the idea. When you get in a game, if their first read locked down and then the pressure comes in, like, it's decently fast if you consider that we're only sending 3 guys. And I was pretty excited about this. I even started working on under center. I was doing the similar thing, and I was blitzing this linebacker here, moving them over a step, and then if they were under center and they blocked a running back and we use this move, oops, I screwed that up. Anyway, we would just blitz this guy, and then we would just hold down the left trigger. The linebacker was coming free untouched and just tackling the quarterback, and the running back was just standing there, only rushing 4 guys. So it was something that I was definitely working on, and I kind of fell into my own little trap, because the big nickel bear is a great defensive formation this year. There's a lot of different things that you can do with it, for sure. We get into the cover 2 here. You know, we can set up our different types of defenses. You know, put this guy in a purple. You know, and that's a pretty nice coverage defense right there. With the double base align, we get the yellows going to the outside, almost playing like a purple. And then we just use the 3-man rush, and we get in and tackle the quarterback. Now, the other great thing is, you know, what would happen is, let's say that they blocked a running back, right? So my other method was, you know, I'm in practice mode, and I'm sitting here going, okay, so now I see that he's blocked, now I just drop back into coverage. And see, I was doing that with ease, right? And I was like, man, the big nickel bear, you know, I love this formation. I've got so much other stuff out of it that I'm going to show you guys, and now to add this, and you know, I mean, it looks like we could still get in, but that guy blocking, well, we notice it. So now we turn it in from a 3-man blitz into a 2-man blitz. And I fell into my own trap, and I was sitting in practice mode for a good 2 hours doing this, coming up with different ideas, different coverages, different things I could do, whether they're under center, what we're going to do if they're blocking a running back. And I got into a game, and nothing worked. You know, I could show something like this. You know, I could get even more into it and really show how to come in even faster. There were things that I was doing to get in even faster. But as you can see, it's kind of a great philosophy, right? Well, it doesn't work. So to answer the question, 8 minutes later, yes, I know I love to talk a lot, but you really need to just figure out the basics in practice mode. If you find a blitz, don't sit there and follow into the trap. The fact that I fell into the trap in practice mode is very rare. I never really do that, but the big nickel bear is so good, and the blitz angles, I just kind of, for some crazy reason, I thought it was going to work, and I just kept practicing. I guess due in part to the fact that it was like 4 in the morning and there was nobody really online to play anyway, so I just kept labbing it. You just want to get the basics. If it works, get into a game and make sure that it works. Grab a friend and say, hey, I want to try something real quick I think I found. And you're not going to waste any time, and you're going to be more efficient with what it is that you're coming up with. If you're just sitting in practice mode working on something that is not going to work in a game, and you're practicing and practicing, or even on offense, you think you've got this one play, this corner route that's like, oh, this burns man every time, whatever, and then you get in the game, and the man-to-man coverage is tighter than you ever imagined. You got to make sure, just get the basics, then get into a game, and work out all the kinks, make sure that the play works, because practice mode is a farce. And that's why I started showing gameplay footage in all of my tips. If you see me in practice mode, that's extremely, extremely rare, and this is the reason why, because you can get duped. And a lot of people have been asking me that question. If you're a father, or if you're someone that works a lot and you don't have a lot of time to be playing Madden, and your time is valuable, you know, those are the people that buy ebooks, right? The fathers and the people that are in school full time or working full time, and they just don't have time, so they buy ebooks because they want to be able to compete, you know, because it's kind of not fair to them. They don't have the edge for somebody that, say, you know, doesn't work that much or doesn't really have that many responsibilities and can just lab all day long, right? Kind of an unfair advantage, you know, if you ask me. You want to make sure that you're using your time most valuable. If you're the type of person you don't have a lot of money and you can't buy ebooks, so yeah, you're working all the time, but that money is going towards your family, and then on top of it, you can't afford to be spending money on ebooks, then you really have to make sure that you're using your time wisely. And practice mode in Madden is just a joke. It just doesn't work. Whether it's this, whether it's other things, for the most part, especially when it comes to defense, almost all the stuff you see isn't really going to work in a game. You're going to see some stuff that definitely works in a game, for sure. Like I said, the last tip I put out was in practice mode. But I put that out because, you know, it's hard for me to go and tell people to be running this type of strong power and that type of strong power. It's like it would take me so long to get gameplay footage. So in a situation like that, I know I have to resort to practice mode. So just be careful of the guys that you don't know, like us, the Madden Dailies, Zans, you know, S. Gibbs, all them guys. You know, if they're showing you in practice mode, absolutely you can trust that that's going to work. But like I said, I've had situations, man, where people find this random ass blitz, somebody saying, "Oh, look at, I got this A gap," and they're showing it in practice mode and it screams, and you get in the game and it just absolutely is useless, and then they lose their playoff game. That happened like just not long ago. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's another long-winded video. What can I say? Love you guys for subscribing and watching all the videos. And if you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe, because we're going to show you a lot of nice stuff coming up in the future. I'll see you next time.